What's going on, Don't Unfriend Me Nation? Matthew Spear from the Don't Unfriend Me Show. Red Friday to be exact. Hope you all have a great weekend. But before we get to it, we have three topics tonight for you. The first one is Tucker Carlson goes to McDonald's in Russia. We have the video. It's an interesting one. A donation of a large amount to one of the Kansas City shooting victims. You need to hear about this story. And last but not least, Colorado, my old stomping grounds. The mayor complains about illegal immigration and is a sanctuary city. We'll get right back to it in 15 seconds, right after this.
Do you want the truth? Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like you're more f***ed up than the lies on the evening news? Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the past.
Still point. STIILPOINT. Isn't it always nice when you have the previous show from last night with a little bit of whiskey in your cup? You're expecting coffee and you grab the wrong one. That's better. At least it's not 3-day-old like it was the other show. Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me Show. We're covering a lot, so let's get right into it. First video, and this is about Tucker Carlson. Now, I've covered the Tucker Carlson-Putin interview. Well, Tucker's decided to video a few of the finer attractions, the subway, the cities, and fast food restaurants. We're going to watch this video together. Puts a smile on your face, but then also a little bit of fact at the end of it to add to the humor of the video. Here it is.
I must say, I feel good in this weather. I ordered, I'm embarrassed, I ordered a cheeseburger, I ordered two cheeseburgers, large Coke, large fries, and a chocolate cake. We're back in the van. We've just come back from the Ersatz Moscow McDonald's. Tasty, that's it. And first the price, okay? Now I'll admit, I have not been to a fast food place in quite some time, trying to preserve my girlish figure. Also doesn't make me feel good, and I'm 54, so you probably shouldn't be eating that crap. But, so I'm not exactly current on the prices, but here's what it cost in Moscow. 647 rubles, so that is exactly $7.05, I think. And for that, we got 2 cheeseburgers, large fries, large cola, Coke.
A liter of cola?
Knockoff. And a piece of...
do we have liter of cola?
Liter of cola?
Listen, Farva. Sorry.
chocolate cake. Just couldn't resist. Is that healthy? No.
Chocolate
I
cake
should
at
say,
McDonald's?
Putin banned GM.
No apple pie to America. I get it. A chocolate cake, Bavarian style, makes sense, obviously.
Foods in Russia 4 years ago, which is interesting. I didn't ask about that. I probably should have. But so maybe we're in a little better shape. I'm not sure. Anyway, here's what we have for that. Let's first go to the fries. McDonald's most famous product, the fries. All right. These are tasty, that's it, Siberian-owned Russian fries.
That's a little skimpy on the fries. I'm not a connoisseur of fast food. I certainly am not. But they could have added a few more fries to that large.
Everybody knows what a McDonald's French fry tastes like, so it's not going to be hard to assess.
Well, that's the adage. Does the French fry taste the same? You hear that in retail. Trying to make everything exactly the same no matter what store you're in. It's the retail dream, and McDonald's has achieved that with their fries. So the question is, does it taste like it? Let's find out.
Well, that's excellent. Totally the same. We just walked all the way a block in the snow back to the truck with these things, and they're still good. Okay. Fries are a winner. Now, I got recognizable foods. Like every American has had a McDonald's cheeseburger. Okay?
That's actually wrapped.
Siberian cheeseburger in the husk of a McDonald's outlet. All right?
See,
now,
just quickly, I remember eating, when it used to be in the cheeseburger, the bun would never get soggy. And it was always, full and light and yeah, it was a good little cheeseburger. And now they put it in the cardboard box, and that's like pizza. It's the kiss of death. It makes it soggy and flat, and it's horrible. So nice to see at least they're using paper.
As in America, I'm not going to open it up to see what's inside because, like, you don't really want to know. I'm just going to eat it. All right, ready? Oh. Excellent. Exactly the same. My first thought is I should be not eating this shit. But I like it, and I think they have those little chopped onions like they do in the United States. All right, I'm going to finish that off camera because it's disgusting to watch your man eat. But before I stop, I'm going to go right to dessert. I'm not going to eat it. I'm just going to show you what Tasty That's It serves in Moscow. A piece of chocolate cake.
That's
and
chocolate, all right.
I'm not going to eat this in front of you either because that would be super degrading, and I'm not going there, even for my love of the internet. But I am going to sniff it, which will give me some sense of its flavor, and then off camera I'll assess and let you know. And it smells great. It smells great. So look, I'm not saying one's better than the other. I'm just trying to let you know what life under sanctions, once Tony Blinken has written your country out of the civilized world, how do you live? Not bad. All right, I'm just finishing my McBreakfast, which was really McLunch, and I gotta say it was McAwesome. It really was, the non-GMO version.
It's just disgusting. I gave up fast food a long time ago, and it's amazing how less puffy and slow and just lethargic all of that just kind of sheds away when you stop to high fructose corn syrup and processed foods. But I'm certainly not at a GMO and gluten-free and all that. Who really cares? But the whole point is, this is a tongue-in-cheek experience. And, Tucker Carlson going into a McDonald's in Russia, would it be the same? And I think that's an interesting thing. There's nothing wrong with what he's doing. The problem is that the whole narrative is what bothers me. It's not that he's saying that Russia's better. Because when he went to the cities and said they were clean, he went to the subways and said there was very little crime or any sense of graffiti, or it wasn't dirty. That is comparison contrast to the United States, and this is too. So if we're going to do that, we have to do it right. Let's consider this, that the average salary inside Russia is $800 a month. This is a $7 breakfast. That is about 0.8% of the overall intake for a 30-day period. So for one meal, you spend almost 1% of your overall intake. That is not comparable to the United States. And most people understand that the cost of living in Russia is actually more expensive. Tax rate might be lower, but VAT taxes make commodities and things that aren't necessarily like gas and electricity and water quite expensive. And novelty items are also, if you want a new TV, if you want to get the latest phone, as long as it's not Apple or Google or anything else, there's multiple varieties, but there are extreme price increases based upon the taxes. So you got to think about that, especially something like Apple or Google or a brand name phone, Levi's, things of that. You're always going to have to pay more in Russia. But really it comes down to they're paid 1/5 of what the United States actually makes. And if you look at it, if it was comparable to the U.S., that meal would be $35, which is crazy. You can get out of McDonald's for about $10 for all of those things here, minus the chocolate cake. Anyway, something to think about. I just wanted to keep it in perspective. The next one is the Denver mayor. I've got two videos to show you. The first one is the Denver mayor talking about illegal immigration and how they're going to have to cut back, and they're going to have to cut back from the DMV. I don't know what else they could possibly do to make it worse. And then I want to take you back to January when he had some things to say. So let's listen to both.
Thank you all so much for being here this morning. I'm here to talk a little bit about the devastating impact of the failure of Republican leadership in Congress this week to pass comprehensive immigration change, and the impact that will have on both city budgets and on services that we can provide for newcomers in the city. The second is we will start to have to greenlight a set of hard decisions about budget reductions across the city to meet those costs that we know will continue to arrive. We want to talk about two of those today. While they're the first steps, they unfortunately will not be the last and may not be the hardest. This is a plan for shared sacrifice. And so in terms of our first step on city cuts.
This sounds really bad. I mean, are they going to limit the amount of oxygen, water? What's going to happen? Is there going to be a curfew or an energy blackout? This sounds pretty ambiguous. Let's see what's going to happen.
We are announcing today we will make some changes both to our services at DMV and to our services on Parks and Rec.
Take my eyes, damn my eyes, but don't take my DMV and my parks and recreation. Colorado is one big park. It's in the mountains. It's a mile high. You're surrounded by everything's forest outside east of 70 or west of 70 is all, well, hold on a second. Yeah, east is all airport and plains and tundra. But all you got to do is head west and you've got the Colorado Rockies and mountains everywhere. Not my Parks and Rec. Are you telling me I don't have to go stand in line like I did after COVID for 6 months in the DMV? This guy is a complete charlatan. It has nothing to do with the Republicans. It has to do with that you are a sanctuary city and you allowed illegal immigration to overrun your city like all the liberal cities who did it. Because I've got a video back in January where you openly admit it and you were singing a different tune. Man, that was less than 30 days ago. Listen to this.
And it is unsustainable in the current structure when we have 30 or 40,000 people arriving without work authorization, without federal support. It is going to be a huge strain on cities. But that doesn't mean we can't solve it. We could solve it if we actually had work authorization for folks that came, if we had resources at the border so that you could adjudicate these asylum claims faster. We have folks that arrive in Denver and their court dates are 2029. It's 5 years out because the courts are so backlogged.
Yeah, because listen, we've been screaming this for 3 years. 3 years. And now, instead of protecting American borders, you want to send money over to Ukraine and Israel, which, fine, you want to do that? Let's secure the United States first. It's not that hard. This is simple. But you guys are using this as a political ploy. You know we're not going to agree. You know the Republicans aren't going to agree on this because this is the whole argument that Republicans have been making is these multi-issue pork barrel bills that are stuffed with multiple things that have nothing to do with each other. This isn't a border bill. This is a foreign aid and foreign war bill. We've got to go ahead and dial it back a little bit. Let's get the single issue topics. Let's put a single bill on the table and let's knock some things out. But we've lost the ability to compromise. But for this guy to go ahead and blame illegal immigration, it's like blaming, the cigarette company for cancer when ultimately you're the moron that had the Surgeon General's warning on the box and you decided to smoke anyway. I mean, caveat emptor, people. If you open up your cities to sanctuary and say anyone who comes who's illegal, you're going to get those people coming to your city. And obviously, you have no reason to complain about it. Last but not least, Taylor Swift donates $100,000 to fallen Kansas City Super Bowl victim Lisa Lopez Galvin. Now, this story is once again tragic. Nobody wants to go to an event that's supposed to be filled with happiness. I've been to the Colorado Avalanche Stanley Cup parades, Denver Broncos, Denver Nuggets, the Houston Astros, and if anything like this happened, it would turn me off from organized sports, as I don't go to movies anymore because of the Aurora shooting, and I don't feel comfortable in there. But this isn't about Taylor Swift. This isn't about Kelsey. This isn't about their romance, whether you like the NFL or don't like the NFL, or you think all of a sudden that she's a satanic priestess for George Soros. I don't care about any of that. What I care about is that I will never know Taylor Swift. I'll never meet Taylor Swift, but I do base it on people's actions. And this one action certainly doesn't change your entire opinion, but it is an amazing effort to give $100,000 when this lady was asking $75,000. And I know you can look at her net worth and go, well, this is equivalent to $10 for me. But if we're going to listen to Tucker Carlson about McDonald's being $7 in comparison to the United States, well, then we better go ahead and make this comparison too and be honest, because for Taylor Swift, that's just pocket change. But maybe we're just a little too hard. Maybe we don't need to make fun of the way she looks. Maybe we don't need to make fun of how she doesn't act her age. Maybe we could just give her a thumbs up and say, honestly, that was pretty good, and we can just shake it off. Folks, I want you to have a great weekend. That's important to me. If you could do that, go have some fun. Let's get away from the politics, get away from the rigmarole. We've got 10 more months of this, and it's going to get more contentious and more crazy. Reach out to a friend you haven't talked to in a while. Reach out to that person who you decided to go ahead and not talk to because of politics, or maybe they decided not to talk to you. Remember, we can agree, we can disagree. You can love me or hate me, just don't unfriend me. Folks, thanks for watching the show. Do me a favor, stop by thedumbshow.com if you don't mind. Pick up yourself a hat, a shirt, whatever you want. Stop on by and take a look. You can also find us on news.thedumbshow.com for your daily news. Thanks for watching. We will see you next time. God bless.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, Olivia, and Mike. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on the Spreely.tv network and all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.